45 million people have been torn away from their families, says a new report by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR. The United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon wants the international community to intensify efforts to prevent and resolve conflicts and to achieve peace and security so families can be reunited and return home. On World Refugee Day, we took a trip to Bujumbura to speak to a number of people who had to flee their country, Liberia, years ago.
13-year-old Martha recalls the story her mother has told her many times. Her mother's words, "Leaving your country for good is one of the hardest decisions you can ever be forced to make," have always stuck in her mind.
To be a refugee, I feel somehow bad because some things may happen unexpectedly and you may not know which way to go.
Martha was born in Ghana, but her mother has filled her with all the details of the conflict that made her flee Liberia with her grandmother, when many of their relatives were killed by rebels.
When my parents were living in Liberia, the rebel came and beat them almost to death. After the police people came and saved them, and then they traveled to Africa Coast. When they traveled to Africa Coast, it was there they make it to come to Ghana. Almighty God used to help us to go throughout the day. He used to help us with food when they had food. And the camp was trying a little bit on us. It was so hard, but we make it out.
Millions of families have lost their homes to violence and war, leading them fleeing across borders. Imagine arriving in a country where you don't know anyone and don't know where to start. If conflict threatens your family, what would you do? Now 30, Jane, also a Liberian refugee, ran away from her home country in 1996 to find peace in Ghana. Being displaced is hard to accept, and even without bullets flying past her daily, Jane says she still has not found peace.
My coming to Ghana is coming here to seek refuge in Ghana. And now it's not easy. I went through it. But I stand to support my children to go to school. Even someday to get the water to take bath is not easy. And someday for me to pay their way to go to school is not easy. Later on, I had an accident. I got up one morning, walking in from my house, my foot just slipped. The gutter that you just crossed over, my foot slipped and went into the gutter. I was in the house again for another more year. While in the house, I would tell the children what to do, that they will be able to get on their feet now because I'm in bed. I don't even have family. My mother passed away, my father passed away, and my husband passed away. I'm a widow. But yet and still I'm in Ghana. I'm feeling myself and doing everything for myself. So I just tell God, thank you for my being in Ghana. But I know one day He will make that way for me and my children.
Ghana is home to about 27,000 refugees.
Out of the estimated 45 million people who are in refugee camps around the world, 46% are children below 18.